Putting on a faking clinic.
35 remaining. Harris had boots. He takes the shot instead. He wants to go to the net. He's got a lane on his wrong side. Score! After the perimeter. Down low. One-timer. What a feed. Wanted to do a 3-on-1. Cross crease. Oh. What a save by Ciliano. Thomas was floating through the air on that one.
Jimmy Joe Hawk. Happy.
Backhand feed over to Thompson. Scores.
Roll that out as
She tries the backhand and it works.
Smith, triple team comes up top, heavy shot in the goal. Brown, near side Dan, inside feed in the goal. Billy gets back all alone in front, got her. The minor. And is it another one? It is. Bowen, Thurston. One more in front. What a pass, what a goal. Off ball. Excellent. And there's a great response from Richard Laughlin. Free.
No.
Dunker.
It's good.
And it is good. McIntyre works his way inside on the power play. First with the man. Patrick. Regulate the ground. Have to go. McIntyre inside all alone. Tie ball game.
Take a shot and score just inside the post on a breakaway. Stopped by Aiden. Brooms makes 2 straight saves. Shot with Austin. Maybe he'll go off the bat here for the Shamrocks as Christensen, a twister, scores. In first place, depending on some results later on as well. There's a shot by Kettle, and there's a start for the Arrows. 28. Now Marsh to the middle, and they score. Chalk one up for Wade, and a good answer back to the Shamrock. Wade down the middle to the near side. Bowie looking 5-0 score.
Wade burn up the floor.
And he wants it, and he's going to get it on a breakaway. A chance to tie it. Shoots and scores.
With Bingham, Delbianco. It's a pass off. Here's a shot. Big rebound. Keith scores. One more. Does that count? Yes. Jones. Good save. Thomas. For Primal. Romney behind the goal. Dunk attempt. Clip it for Jones. There's Yangling. Here's Kozak.
Coolbet is the official sportsbook of the 2024 President's Cup. Dive into the action today with the best odds in lacrosse. Only a couple more chances here at the President's Cup to get involved. So at Coolbet, we always say,
stay cool, bet responsibly.
Well, what does the second semifinal have in store for us after what was an instant classic between Ladner and Snake Island that went to overtime and had a little bit of everything? It's the Miners and the Arrows in a rematch of the first game of the 2024 President's Cup here on BC Sports TV. In that game, Allegany came away with a 7-6 win. It was tied 5-5 after the second period, but Chris Atwood scored the winner with 6:47 remaining. There was only 13 goals in that game. The Coolbet Polar Bears have the over set at 18 in this game. Edmonton, the favorite, and a 2.5 goal spread is set between these two teams. Mark Smith, Lane Hartung, Jason Sirtuck will be your officials. Nick Dos Santos will be the fourth in case we need him. The winner of this game will face the Ladner Pioneers for the gold medal tomorrow. The loser will take on Snake Island for the dirty gold. You know why they call it the dirty gold?
Why?
It's better than bronze because you still win your last game, so it's still like you're winning a goal, but it's a little dirtier.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's the boys at Tino Ferro. You can find him on Twitter at Ferratino.
Or Instagram. Tino Ferro,
you can find me there as well at Teddy Jenner. As we will pause for the song of the Haudenosaunee Peoples and O Canada. All right, folks, we are getting set for what should be a absolute dandy between the Miners, who finished 5-1, taking on the Arrows, who finished 4-1-1. Both these teams actually tied. Oh, let me start again. The Miners finished 4-1-1. Allegany also finished 4-1-1. Allegany be the home team because they get the tiebreaker as they knocked off the Miners 7-6 in that opening game of the tournament. Scratch for the Arrows. Keon Whitcomb, Liam Keane, Chase Janice, Jeff Geddes, and Austin Maybe, as well as Craig Seneca, the third goaltender. Chase Martin will start. Goa Abrams will back up. Scratch for the Miners. Colin Bergloff, Adam Yo, Rory Sherrod, Matt DiGirolamo, Matt Christensen, and Jace Lysenko. Cam McLeod with a start. Matt Hebert will back up. Tino, what do you expect from two teams who haven't met in a fortnight?
Well, I mean, just after the first semifinal game, I mean, I feel like you can pretty much expect anything at this point, but I think something that has been consistent through this entire tournament is we've seen some stellar goaltending. And for my money, Cam McLeod has been the best goaltender in this tournament, and that's saying a lot considering there's guys like Nick Damude, Christian Del Bianco, some other really strong names in this tournament, but I think we're going to see another heavy goaltending matchup.
Triolo open on the backside, cutting through, couldn't handle the pass. Jake Bowen couldn't find that loose ball. Frank Brown battling. One thing of note, this Allegany team went through an absolute hellacious battle in that tie game with Victoria the other night, and a lot of these Allegany players are banged up, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that one. Cam McLeod, as Tina was saying, has been an excellent this tournament. .889 save percentage and a 5.0 goals against. Chase Martin, .841 save percentage and a 9.5 goals against. So goals could be at a premium here as Kluche gets the first shot on target for the Arrows.
And McLeod, he's so steady. I mean, even going back to a game early in the tournament, Edmonton versus Ladner, and he held that high-powered Ladner team to just 3 goals, I believe, or 4 maybe. But, man, he is a positional and sound goaltender here for Edmonton.
It was 6-3 in that game against the Miners. But after that game, the Miners have been pretty much unbeatable, although some teams have come close. And a nice defensive effort there on the far side to keep that ball loose and get the 30-second shot clock.
And a few rested bodies for the Arrows as well. Chris Kluche, Chris Atwood, Chase Fraser, all of them had their last game off. So just that extra day of rest might be hugely beneficial for this team who looks to get an early jump.
Here's Josh Becker. Inside, backhand shot from Chase Fraser. And you always, as a goaltender, Tino, got to be aware of when Chase Fraser has the ball. And now Becker will just ice it.
Yeah, and I love talking about guys like Chase Fraser. He's one of those players that is able to shoot in those really uncomfortable positions, areas where you wouldn't really expect a shot to be on target.
Triolo thought about the backhand flip, and one more doesn't connect with Farrell. Loose ball grabbed by Bowen, 15 on the shot clock. Farrell to Triolo, fakes it, takes it, tried to dunk it far side and missed. And that'll go to Sherwin Williams in the far corner.
Yeah, the big man tries to reach around. Usually a good look for him with that extra size, that added advantage that he has to be able to outreach goaltenders. Not able to get it on target that time.
2 of the 3 Whitcomb brothers in the lineup here tonight for the Arrows. Here's Atwood. Shot easily saved there by McLeod. And now Burton will head man up to Brett Craig, who has been an all-star for this Miners defense, shutting down some of the top players in this tournament and contributing in transition.
And speaking of guys that had the night off as well, he should have some fresh legs for this Edmonton team.
Farrell working with Darren Kinnear. Needham inside. Oh, he tried a little corkscrew shot, and good defense there by Darius Anderson.
Officials letting him play early, letting the boys settle in here. Could have been a hold, but I like that the pace is being established in the early stages.
Here's Kettle. Loops around the top. Gives it off to Kobe Whitcomb. Gets a pick there from Fraser. Now works off his brother's seal. Becker shot right into the breadbasket of McLeod again. So that's a few shots here. Shots are 4-0 early on, but not many have tested Cam McLeod.
I was just going to say, when you put it into the crest of someone like Cam McLeod, he's just going to absorb it. You know, he doesn't really give up rebounds. He just kind of hangs onto it and leaves for a defender. You're going to have to make a move, and you're going to have to go, likely towards the hips if you're going to be able to find any available space from distance.
Good look there for Triolo working inside, but a nice save from Chase Martin. Atwood flips it. Lane Smith shot goes off the shoulder, McLeod and out. And there's another guy who has had a fantastic tournament in Lane Smith. He has just been a wrecking ball. 11 goals, 17 points for the left-hander. Kobe Whitcomb off the double seal. Inside to Kluche. Had his stick checked there by Burton. And then he'll flip it up ahead. Running onto it is the mountain man, Brett Craig.
That's a great stick check from Tyler Burton as well.
McIntyre, one more, diving across and just put it wide was Farrell. Here's Rudy George, the uncle of the Whitcomb brothers. Kettle. Nice one-hand grab there by Chase Fraser. One-on-one with Matt Kim. Fraser now picked up by Lintz. Rolls off. Lintz pushes him back. And then a man down in front is Amos Whitcomb. No call. Shot. Save McLeod. Loose ball. And Lintz will come away with it up ahead to McFadden.
And Chase Fraser, he uses a smaller stick compared to some guys, and it allows him that extra ability to, keep a handle on the ball when he makes some of his moves. But for a smaller stick, he really puts some mustard behind his shots, too.
Here's Needham. Richard Lachlan plants his feet. Shot and eludes Martin. There's the opening goal of the contest from Richard Lachlan. His 5th of the tournament. 1-0. Miners.
Yeah, probably one that Martin's going to want to have back. It's not an overly heavy shot. It's just a well-placed one coming over top. Maybe the fact that it comes in a little bit slower than what he anticipated. We'll get a great look at it here as there's a wide open lane. You talk about shots for a goaltender. If he can see it, he's going to stop it, and that's one that Chase Martin could certainly see. And I think when he rolls back the tape or has some time to talk to his fellas in the intermission, he's going to say, guys, that one's on me. I'll get the next one.
Thornberry wins the draw against Matt Kim. Will carry it up to center and bounce it near side to Nathan Kettle. Shot by Kettle, deflected off a couple minor sticks. Loose ball. Kettle trying to battle for it still. Kluche's in there. 8 on the shot clock, picked up by Brett Craig. Looking down to my right, I can see Brett Craig's coaches, Pat Coyle, Jason Bishop, taking in the game, talking with Kurt Malosky. Some NLL Brain Trusts in attendance as those guys are going to have a busy next 72 hours. McIntyre splits through, shoots, and he scores! What a great goal from Brett McIntyre. The little man worked his way through the trees in an early 2-0 lead.
And just an unbelievable move. He's been, arguably the best player for Edmonton throughout this tournament. And look at that move as he splits a couple of defenders on his back foot. That's a tough one to make when you're almost backpedaling into the move right there to open up a lane through the middle of the floor. And that's back-to-back goals now past Chase Martin, or kind of through Chase Martin. But the hot stick of Brett McIntyre just continues to roll.
14th of the tournament for BMAC. Here's Sonicson. And they'll call him for stepping through the crease. Good defense there by Williams and Brown.
And now, how do the Arrows respond, right? They got the early start. They were getting some on target. McLeod has made some saves. But how do you respond now by changing up your shot selection, getting a little more motion on offense?
Cheeky bounce shot there from Fraser. Loose ball in the corner, picked up by Becker. Watched there by Williamson. Williamson dispossesses him of the ball. They'll roll back towards center. Kluche lets it roll over wisely. Still 20 on the shot clock here for the Arrows. Kluche, backhand flip. Becker couldn't handle it, and then driving in tight was Kobe Whitcomb. Tried a little flair for the dramatics, but was called for reaching in the crease. Here comes Tyler Burton.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous game to play with those rebounds floating in front of the crease with the Whitcomb brothers hunting for them. They're so good in tight. They have good hands when they're working like there.
Triolo with a big pick. Got away with it as he knocked Rudy George to turf. And that was kicked aside nicely by Chase Martin. And that's a key save for Martin as well. Now up ahead, Xavier Taylor to George, to Atwood. Wanted it, bobbled it, and picked up by Cody Hawkins. Maybe some nerves early on here for the Arrows. As Spencer Milne will leave it off for the latest goal scorer, or the opening goal scorer, Richard Laughlin. Thought about it, skips it to Dean Farrell. 10 on the shot clock here for Farrell and the Miners. He'll shoot it, save Martin, loose ball. Picked up nicely by Jay Thornberry.
And Dean Farrell's a guy that I'm waiting to really heat up. You know, he's had an okay tournament, but he's a guy that can really fill the back of the net. And if Edmonton can get him firing, they have a dangerous asset on their hands.
He's second on the team in goals in this tournament. Inside feed, Nathan Kettle. Good chop there by Hawkins.
Oh.
Whitcomb to Smith. Power drive. And McLeod holds it tight. Seven and a half gone here in the opening period. McIntyre flips it to Triolo. Couldn't handle it. Was watched there closely by the defense of Allegany. And now loose ball found in the corner. Bounce it all the way up to Triolo with 8 on the shot clock. Expect a big bomb from 29. He does. Oh, it took a deflection. And Chase Martin had to be careful with that one.
And what a loose ball in the corner from Darren Kinnear. Just refused to give up. Has the wherewithal to throw it back towards the restraining line, looking for a reset shot.
Here's Fraser turned aside by McLeod. Fresh 30 here for the Arrows. They need one just to get some momentum. Kluche with a fake flip. Inside, put it off the crossbar. And it'll hit the rafters and stay here with the Arrows. But a great take by Kluche.
Yeah, and him going downhill like that, that's a scary sight to see for a defender, especially when there's no help underneath and now a delayed call coming up against Edmonton.
Yeah, this is going to go to Spencer Milne, I believe, on the illegal cross-check off ball. So Allegany will head to their first power play. It was 6-1 penalties in favor, well, I guess in favor of Edmonton, but the Miners went 1 for 6 on the power play. Allegany is going to have to take advantage of this opportunity now as they'll send out Atwood, Kluche, Amos Whitcomb, Lane Smith, and Chase Fraser to set this thing up. And Atwood just takes it himself, and that'll hit the netting, and that's not a great take on the power play as Brett Craig's going to run. Craig on the shorthanded breakaway. Oh, he got a straight shot off the bar, and I think Martin was expecting a fake or maybe a twister. And Craig rang it off the bar behind him, reset the 30, and a chance here for the Miners to kill some time.
Brett Craig has just, I mean, again, I've said it earlier in this tournament, this is a stay-at-home defender in the National Lacrosse League, and his transition game in this tournament has been just unbelievable. So fun to watch.
Well, then technically, he's not a stay-at-home defender.
I guess I'll have to change my...
he's a two-way defender.
Have to change my my description.
There you go. But you're right, this is a big Miners defense. They impose their will. They punish you on every opportunity. And it's definitely not easy to get inside this big unit. And early on, Allegany's having some troubles doing just that, but they still got a minute 15 here in the power play. Fraser drags, gives to Kluche, gets it back, inside to Atwood, shoulder save McLeod. Good look on that set from Allegany. Up top, Fraser. He'll shoot it, sails it high, and McLeod able to corral it behind his own net. Now he's got to find someone to pass to. Gives to Mike Seidel. He's got 3 seconds to get over. Pressured there by Kluche and does a nice job getting across center. Now he's under the duress of Gill, takes a few chops. And now we'll give it to Needham here with 12 on the shot clock, 35 on the Miner. Shots 10-7 in favor of Allegany, but they trail by 2. And Kinnear will ice it, so one more opportunity here with the man advantage for the Arrows, but we'll get a water timeout for the goalies before we do. Craving the taste of the ocean? Well, dive into the freshness with Ocean Brand Seafood. Sustainably sourced, always delicious. Ocean Brands, your catch of the day, every day.
And why don't we load up another look at that last Brett Craig opportunity here, Teddy?
Do it. And again, he just kind of a straight shot, no fake, nothing. And he rang it off the crossbar.
I don't have the ability to go back and pull all the Brett Craig highlights that we've seen in this, but I'd be willing to bet. I don't know if the odds of this one are going to be on Cool
Well,
Bet.
that's Cool Bet, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's Cool Bet. Patty, if you're paying attention. But I'd be willing to bet that if we went back and looked, all of those Brett Craig goals in transition that we've seen have kind of looked pretty similar, where he is going in and there's no real fake necessary. It's just he's just beating goaltenders cleanly on releases, and he's usually going high.
One last chance here with a man advantage. Kluche top center, gives to Fraser. He works on the inside, little toe drag. Turned aside nicely by McLeod. 10 on the penalty. Kluche. Whitcomb shot goes low and wide. Now they got to be careful. The man coming to the box here, Milne. And Kluche is aware. Whitcomb. Lane Smith tried to one-timer, gets it out of the corner. 10 on the shot clock. Smith tucks it, well taken, and scores! Lane Smith, stay hot, big fella. His 12th of the tournament. And that's a much-needed goal just as the power play expired. With 8:30 to go, the Arrows are on the board. It's 2-1.
It should be absolutely illegal to be able to have the size that he does, where he can just absolutely outmuscle guys, but then also have the hands to pull off a move like that and the finish shortly thereafter. He's had an unbelievable tournament, and he's using, every trick that he's got available, and that might be his highlight goal of the tournament. That was an unbelievable move, and then the finish to be able to put it top corner, silky.
Loose ball kicked ahead to Mike Triolo. He bought his man into the ground. Triolo still with it. And good recovery there by Sherman Williams. Here's Triolo now. Far side to Farrell. Gets a double seal, comes around the top. One more Lachlan, 8 on the shot clock. Farrell from deep, turned aside by Martin. And Frank Brown was leaking up ahead, but unable to get it. So he'll go for a change.
Yeah, and he's, had his head up and darted across the floor a few times already in this first period. He's a guy they're going to have to look to in transition.
Here's Atwood. Duff had his helmet knocked off. Rudy George open in the middle. And fortuitous bounce there for the Miners. Now Williamson loses it. Got to get it over. Up ahead to Seidel. He can't handle it. Neither can Spencer Milne, but at least they're over the timeline. And now Milne takes a couple chops.
Yeah, and a lucky break for Edmonton there. I don't think Williamson knew that he had Seidel there. He was just looking for a last-second dump into the offensive zone.
Farrell, McIntyre. Got to get a shot off. He will, looking far side. Nice save, Martin. Loose ball. And Bowen again. That's 2 or 3 loosies he's missed easily. Slow numbers here for the Arrows. Thornberg to Becker. Fakes it, takes it. Oh, he thought he scored, but McLeod able to smother it in his crease.
Yeah, just, turned away to help guide the rebound, if any, out of danger. But you're exactly right. That's a few loose balls in the offensive zone that Edmonton in general has, just kind of whiffed on. Instead of looking for another opportunity, they're heading back to the bench for a defensive shift. And in a semifinal matchup, it's the team that can, clean up more of those mistakes that are going to find themselves in a championship game tomorrow.
A little lackadaisical from Triolo with one hand on the stick, loses possession. Now here come the Arrows looking to tie this thing up. Atwood gives it off to Kobe Whitcomb. Now Kluche on a bit of a vacate. Milne holding the middle. And they won't get it off in time, and that's well after the whistle. And Atwood has 4 black trees around him, letting him know that won't be taken lightly.
And a really good defensive set there from the Miners. You see, the vacate play like you called out, but Edmonton left 3 guys through the middle in case there was anybody on the drive, and, positionally sound in the early stages.
Needham. Pass knocked down by a nice stick of Jay Thornberg. Saunderson this time couldn't handle it. And it's corralled in the Allegany zone by Tristan Jensen, who's legging up the floor. Little backhand flip. Becker Becker watched there by McFadden. Thought about flipping it inside, knocked down nicely by the stick of Matt Kim. Now the Miners are going to try to run 2-on-1, Kim and McFadden. Kim to McFadden, the pass was out of his reach. Loose ball in the corner, nicely corralled there by Farrell. Got a man open on the backside of McFadden, but he's a D guy, and he'll let him go without the pass.
D guy and on his wrong side. Probably a wise decision to just pull it out.
McIntyre to Triolo. He takes a heavy slide hit there from Williamson, and that might have knocked the wind out of the big man. As we're in the stretch drive here in the opening period, 5 minutes to go. Oh, and then Whitcomb bobbled it. Loose ball. Spencer Milne. He's hounded by a couple stick checks. And nice job there by Spencer Milne to keep possession. And now he loses possession. Kettle, Burton there playing safety, and he'll pick it up. Now he's got to be careful to pressure here. Allegany starting to ratchet up the treatment here of the Miners. Backdoor cut, Bowen couldn't find the pass.
Well, McIntyre's open here.
And Lachlan will take the shot and take a hit from Thornbear for good measure. Here come the arrows.
Bit of a different feel in this semi than the one earlier today.
Still early, Tino. 2-1's your score, 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Atwood into the corner. Fraser, swim move on Craig, drives down the alley, shot, save McLeod, loose ball picked up by Brett Craig. He's looking for somebody to float to. It'll be Cody Hawkins, number 4 in black. And Hawkins will give it off to Farrell. On comes Anderson with a chop. Sonicson, shot wide. Oh, they're going to say they got a piece of it. And keep it here with the Miners.
I don't even think the Miners really realized it. Half of them going off for a change and now just getting back onto the floor.
McIntyre, Needham, one-on-one with Xavier Taylor. Off the screen, bounce shot. Nice save there by Chase Martin. And now nobody breaking out, so we'll have to throw the short one. Xavier Taylor lost his footing.
And a really good bounce back here from Chase Martin after a couple goals, like I mentioned, that he'd probably want to have back, and he settled in.
Kluche all alone shot went off the back of Tyler Burton. 12 in the shot clock. Fraser off a screen. Back pedals. Shot. Save McLeod. Loose ball Seidel. And he's got Becker all over him. Seidel lumbering up the floor and gets across center. Now Farrell. Watched there by Rudy George. We'll get off to the captain, Mike Triolo. 2.5 to go here in the first. Lachlan, far side. Bowen's got a lane. Drives, shot, penalty coming. And this is going to be a holding call. And the Miners will get their first power play of the night.
Yeah, and we'll take another look at the play that drew the penalty right there. Driving low. Still an unbelievable effort to get a shot on target with a man draped all over him. And now an opportunity for Edmonton to try to reclaim that 2-goal advantage. And there's been some sloppy play on both sides of the floor. But, you know, if you can get a late goal here, especially with the man advantage, kind of reassert yourself, get some confidence going once again. This could be huge in the late stages.
So Rudy George will sit for two or less. McIntyre and Bowen play 1-2. Inside feed doesn't connect with Lachlan. That was a tough pass. And it'll be grabbed there by Jesse Jimerson.
Kind of a bullet of a pass in such a close location, a little unnecessary.
There's Amos Whitcomb, rocking the pink and blue sneakers. Gives it off to Kettle with the banana head. McFadden will come put some pressure on Kettle. He works to the middle of the floor, step back shot, hit McFadden. Kettle gets his own rebound. Backhand shovel shot, doesn't connect with Whitcomb off the glass. And now McFadden with a minute 13 in the minor, minute 30 in the period.
And almost a great play there from Whitcomb, just waiting for the rebound. Not a lot of Miners were totally aware of where the ricochet was going.
Bowen spins. Now McIntyre, one-timer down in the corner, Farrell. Back up top, McIntyre, knocked down by the stick of Williams. McIntyre shot, and it squeaks through Chase Martin. Power play marker for Brett McIntyre. He's got a pair, now 15 in the tournament. And with 1:08 remaining, it's back to a 2-goal game.
And you got to find a way to slow down Brett McIntyre. You're not gonna fully shut him down. We've kind of learned that throughout this week, but you just have to find a way to limit his chances. And a little tough to do that when they're on the man advantage. But maybe read the play a little bit there. You see he's already got one. Maybe look at him as a shooter and try to close down the alley a little bit. Make them make another decision as to who else is going to be their trigger man. But now we need another response.
Thornberry, NLL's all-time leader in faceoffs, wins it to himself, takes it right down the pipe, but another nice save by McLeod. Under 60 to go here. Here's Farrell. Bumps off the Bowen screen. He'll take the shot, try to go twister 5-hole, and a nice save there from Chase Martin. Triolo. 10-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Lachlan to Farrell, inside Needham, low shot, saved there by Martin. And do they want to bring Chase Martin here? Arrow's got to hurry, and they'll call timeout.
Well, we've seen, a little bit of everything in the. Oh, the Venga train's going here.
Focus.
I'm sorry. This is our victory song in Senior C, so I get a little jump when I hear the Venga train get going. We've seen a little bit of everything. McLeod's been pretty good, but I think that goal that he let in earlier for the Arrows to get back, I think that's probably one that, for his standards, he's probably going to have a word about it with some people when he goes into the dressing room. And then kind of the same from Chase Martin, although he settled in pretty nicely. Both goaltenders have here. But now, I talked about, kind of what a late power play goal here for the Miners could do for their psyche heading into the intermission. A late goal to go back up by 2. And we've seen a pretty good answer back from the Arrows after they let in the first 2. But another response from them could be huge. They've been a little bit snake-bitten here on some of their shots, maybe some questionable shot selection. They're finding a lot into the logo of Cam McLeod. But if they can just get one late one here to cut the lead down to 1 going into the intermission, it's a completely different feeling heading into the second period.
Atwood will bring it up the floor. He'll be out there with Fraser, Amos Whitcomb, Chris Kluche, Josh Becker, and Lane Smith. Atwood, top center to Kluche. 4, 3. Fraser couldn't handle it. Lintz with it. Period will end. Good job there by the Miners D. And a little frazzled settled set there from the Arrows O. But after 20 shots, 15-14 in favor of the Miners, and they have a 3-1 lead. Semi-final number 2. The winner gets the Ladner Pioneers for the gold tomorrow evening. When we come back here on BC Sports TV, we'll have second period action from the LLC.
Hey Woods putting on a faking clinic.
35 remaining. Harris had boots. He takes the shot instead. He wants to go to the net. He's got a lane on his wrong side. Score! After the perimeter. Down low. One-timer. What a feed. Wanted to do a 3-on-1. Cross crease.
Oh.
What a save by Chiliano. Thomas was floating through the air on that one.
Jimmy Joe Hall, happy.
Backhand feed over to Thompson. Scores.
Roll that out as
Bougie tries the backhand and it works.
Smith, triple team comes up top, heavy shot in the goal. Brown, near side Dan, inside feed in the goal. Now he gets back all alone in front, got her. The Miners. And is it another one? It is. Bowen, Thurston. One more in front. What a pass, what a goal. Off ball win. Excellent. And there's a great response from Richard Lachlan. Still free.
No.
Dunker.
It's good.
And it is good. McIntyre works his way inside on the power play. first with the man. Patrick. Regulate the ground. Have to go. McIntyre inside. All alone. Tie ball game.
Last night about Colin Jeffrey as they get a chance going through and Boyd scores! Boyd here, Becker's gonna take a shot and score just inside the post zone on a breakaway stop by Abram. Frims makes 2 straight saves. Shot with Austin. Maybe he'll go off the bat here for the Shamrocks as Christensen a twister scores! In first place, depending on some results later on as well. It was dropped by Kettle, and there's a start for the Arrows. 28. Now Marsh to the middle, and they score! Chalk one up for Wade, and a good answer back to the Shamrock. Wade down the middle to the near side. Bowie looking 5-0 scores!
Burn up the floor.
And he wants it, and he's going to get it. On a breakaway, a chance to tie it. Shoots and scores!
With Bingham, Delvienko. It's a pass off. Here's a shot. Big rebound. Keith scores. One more. Does that count? Yes. Jones. Good save. Thomas. For Primal. Romney behind the goal. Dunk attempt. Clip it for Jones. There's Yangling. Here's Kozak.
I can't wait to see what happens next week. They bring the intensity, let's raise the level even more next week. All right?
PCL on 3! 1, 2, 3, PCL!
Good job, guys.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
Know your limits. CoolBet helps you control your gaming experience. Stay cool. Bet responsibly.
We've had great fans. It's been really motivating for our guys. We want to put on a good product on the floor for the fans that are going to come here and spend their hard-earned money.
And as Martel slips it 5-hole. And his ball again down the middle. How did he hang on to that? Scores! Keegan Ball!
It's what they did in that room that turned the season around. I don't think we make that run without the support of the fans.
Here's Sean Beatties, and he scores! Nate Woods putting on a faking clinic.
35 remaining. Harris had boots. He takes the shot instead. He wants to go to the net. He's got a lane on his wrong side. Score! Perimeter. Down low, one-timer. What a feed. Wanted to do a 3-on-1. Cross crease. Oh. What a save by Ciliano. Thomas was floating through the air on that one.
Jimmy Joe Hall. Happy.
Backhand feed over to Thompson. Scores.
Roll that out as
Ushi tries the backhand, and it works.
Smith, triple team comes. Up top, heavy shot in the goal. Brown, near side, Dan, inside, feet in the goal. Billy gets back all alone in front, got her! From the Miners. And is it another one? It is! Bowen, Thurston. One more in front. What a pass, what a goal. Off ball. Excellent. And there's a great response from Richard Laughlin. Still free.
Now,
Dunker.
it's good.
And it is good. McIntyre works his way inside on the power play. First with the lead. Patrick. Regularize the ground. Have to go. McIntyre inside all alone. Tie ball game.
Last night about Colin Jeffrey as they get a chance going through and Boyd scores! Boyd here, Becker's gonna take a shot and score just inside the post zone on a breakaway stop by Abram. Brooms makes 2 straight saves. The shot was Austin. Maybe he'll go off the bat here for the Shamrocks as Christensen and Twister scores! In first place, depending on some results later on as well. They were dropped by Kettle, and there's a start for the Arrows. 28 seconds. Now Marsh to the middle, and they score! Chalk one up for Wade, and a good answer back to the Shamrock. Wade down the middle to the near side. Bowie looking 5-0 scores!
Way more goals. Burn up the floor.
And he wants it, and he's going to get it. On a breakaway, a chance to tie it. Shoots and scores!
With Bingham, Delvienko. It's a pass on. Here's a shot. Big rebound. Keith scores. One more. Does that count? Yes. Jones. Good save. Thomas for Primal. Romley behind the goal. Dunk attempt. Clip it for Jones. There's Yingling. Here's Kozak.
Are you craving the taste of seafood, Tino? It
Yeah.
was rhetorical. I didn't want an answer.
Well, I am.
Dive into freshness with Ocean Brand Seafood. Sustainably sourced, always delicious. Ocean Brands, your catch of the day, every day. What's your go-to?
This morning I had a smoked salmon sandwich.
In the morning?
Like it was like 11:30, so it was kind of like a brunch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to say where it was from because no free ads. But you know, if we're on the topic of seafood,
You mean you got it from Oceans?
there it is. That's
Catch of
why
the
you're
day
the man
every
in
day.
charge.
Catch of the day every day, man.
There you go.
3-1 after 20. Miners, Arrows. Winner gets the Pioneers. Loser will play for Dirty Gold against Snake Island. I just don't like saying bronze.
That's a winner right there. You're a winner, Teddy.
Well, you win your last game, so you want to be positive.
No, I agree with you. I've just never heard it called dirty gold before.
Must be an island thing. We've won a lot of bronzes over there.
You've also always played at higher levels than me, so it's probably that also.
All right. Martin to our right, McLeod to our left. Both goaltenders have been steady here. Decided advantage to Cam McLeod. He's going to have to find a new team next year in the National Lacrosse League. As news broke before we had the opening face-off of the first game that Panther City will indeed cease operations. The players will enter a dispersal draft on Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and then free agency will begin at 12 Eastern. And there's an opening goal, Dean Farrell. He got lost in traffic, and a great start for the Miners.
And this is exactly what I was asking for, right, in the first period. Dean Farrell's a guy with such soft hands. You know, I've seen him kind of float some shots from the outside as well, and I don't mean that in a negative way. You know, I more so mean it in the sense of, you know, he has one of those well-placed shots, and that's one of those ones where he can go either way, and he just kind of lobs it over top of the shoulder of Chase Martin. And that strong start, this one coming 19 seconds in, the Edmonton Miners just continue to roll.
And he just got Chase Martin to bite just enough. Able to float it over his shoulder. Swimming is McIntyre. How do you get through that? But finally, had the ball knocked out of his stick. Now running onto it is Jensen. He's got Sonerson all over him. Might be wise not to pick this up. Now Allegany gets the advantage, and they will.
And the response of the Arrows. That continues to be the storyline for me here in this game. Still early, obviously, but need to see an answer back from some of their big guns here.
Got to start getting some repeated possessions and tire this big, aggressive Edmonton defense out. Here's Kluche. Works inside. Shot never made it through. 5 on the shot clock. Up top, Fraser. One more, Kluche. Scores from a tough angle! With 1 second on the shot clock, Kluche gets his 14th. And as you were just saying, Tino, timely response. And I think McLeod just misjudged that one.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, kind of talking about in the first period, Brett McIntyre, a guy that you kind of want to limit his chances. You're never really going to be able to fully stop him. You just want to slow him down. And a guy like Cam McLeod, you sort of have to limit him. It's a little bit different as a goaltender, but I more so mean it in the sense you can't really let him get into a rhythm. And maybe, a goal like that gets him kind of off his pace, and a good response there for the Arrows.
Pass from Kinnear to Farrell, doesn't connect. 10 on the shot clock. Turning the corner is Needham. Scores! What an individual effort from Marcus Needham. He was an Energizer bunny yesterday for them in that game against Six Nations. And here he gets the quick response.
And you need those guys to be that energy bunny kind of role. Mike Triolo's had some good looks in the first period and hasn't really been able to find the back of the net. But when the big guns on your team are typically the guys that are getting the tough matchup, they're the guys that are going to be a little more bruised than the rest. That's when you need your depth to, come to play a little bit, cash in a little bit more. And that's what we're seeing here from the Miners. When we talk about a response for the Arrows, how about that answer back?
And Billy D. Smith was giving his D-core a bit of an earful after that one. 2 minutes gone here. 3-goal lead for the Miners. Bowen all the way around the top. Shot turned aside by Martin. Loose ball. Uncontested there for Kinnear. Gimerson gets knocked off his block. Inside feed. Nice save, Martin. Denying Lachlan on the doorstep. And that is a timely one for Chase Martin.
And the Miners feel like they are awake here. A little extra pep in their step.
Fraser tried to push past one in the far corner. Lane Smith gets the loose ball. Skips it across to Atwood. Fakes it. Inside. Kluche steps away from trouble. Can't get a shot off. 8 on the shot clock. Met there by the cross check of Lintz. Kluche. Can he get a shot off? He does. So a nice save there by McLeod. Ball loose. And they're going to say interference on Edmonton.
Yeah, Kluche got blown up there as he was dealing with a double team for, about 6 seconds from behind the net, then rounding the corner.
Twister shot there from Xavier Taylor, who's running a shift to offense here. Kluche will head off for a fresh body of Lane Smith with a head of steam. Smith can't get a shot away. Watch there by Duff. Smith, Amos Whitcomb through a screen, sails it high and wide. Loose ball grabbed by Duff. He's under some duress. And we'll flip it to Williamson. And he'll bump it up ahead to McFadden. McFadden gets underneath Gill. McFadden, great glove save. Chase Martin.
A beautiful save and a huge one at that for Martin. A good answer back from him now as well.
Now Dean Farrell. Backhand flip inside. Backhand shot. And they're going to say Martin got a piece of that one, but it falls into his crease. He'll leave it there for Williamson. Up ahead, Rudy George.
This just looks like a completely different Edmonton team than what we saw in the first period, causing all sorts of turnovers, like you mentioned, getting repeat possessions.
Up ahead, Matt Kim scores! And the Kim family just down to our right, up to their feet in applause as Matt Kim gets his first of the tournament. And a timeout from Billy D. Smith on the Arrows bench.
Looking for any kind of change in momentum here. And Matt Kim, You know, he's a favorite on the team. He's their face-off specialist. That's another point for Brett Craig as he looks up. And the forecheck was kind of the deal breaker there for the Miners, as they're the ones that caused the 8-second count. It's a quick turnover, and now the Arrows, they're getting a big talking to from Billy D. Smith. And I think the message overall is, let's settle here, guys. This is a big game. We've all played in big games before. You know, don't let the moment be too big for you here. We've kind of seen, I think it's the nerves maybe. I mean, of course, Edmonton is playing incredibly well, but, you know, the mistakes that they were making in the first period in terms of kind of the sloppiness, the you know, mistakes on loose balls or, you know, shot selection, Edmonton has cleaned that up here to start things off in the second period. The Arrows haven't. So the message from their bench has to be, you know, let's settle things down. Let's get back to our style of play. And we got some work ahead of us, so let's go to work.
2 simple words, Tino: be better. And they're going to have to be at all aspects, from loose balls to defensive situations to getting shots on target and firing away past Matt McLeod. And Thornbear jumped early on the draw. There's Darren Kinnear. Triolo into the corner. Lachlan comes off the screen. Farrell, shot, took a deflection off a stick. Couple extra chops from Darius Anderson. And now he has it now, got to get across center as Williamson took a rough ride. And most importantly, no need to panic here for the Arrows. Still a lot of lacrosse left. Kobe Whitcomb gets a pick from Chase Fraser, and I think they're going to give him a penalty here.
And he doesn't like it. It's going to be a high stick.
No, it's going to be a cross-check and an unsportsmanlike, I believe. Or a misconduct. Let's see what Lane Hartung does here.
Oh.
2 and 10 for Chase Fraser, and that is not going to make Billy D. Smith happy.
And, you know, I understand you want to set the hard picks, but, and you know, give him a 2 there, but for Fraser, like the extra afterwards, it's really unnecessary. Like that kind of adds to the message of, you know, we're kind of panicking here a little bit. We're, you know, a little jumpy.
That's, no offense, Tino, I get what you're trying to say. You can't give a guy a 10-minute misconduct because he disliked your call. Unless he called you something very egregious, you can't give him a 10-minute in a semifinal game at this juncture. One-time shot there from Farrell on the power play. Great job by Chase Martin to get post to post. Thornbear running, gets across the timeline, being watched there by Brett Craig. Throw on the brakes, give it off to Becker. Kluche with it now. As Thornbear gets off, and Kobe Whitcomb will come on the floor. Kluche on an isolation. Now here comes a double from Spencer Milne. 3 on the shot clock. Amos Whitcomb couldn't handle it. Good job there by the Miners.
And now huge for the Arrows, I would say. Like, don't let this be a deciding factor in the game. Get your big kill, you know, eventually get Fraser back into the action. But talking about the depth of the Miners, now we need to see some of that from the Arrows as well.
Farrell to Bowen. Triolo running interference in the middle. Hot pass to Farrell, couldn't connect. And it'll fall to Chase Martin. Martin will leave it there for Sherman Williams. Now Kobe Whitcomb, 40 seconds remaining on the Miner, being served by Justin Bell. And the Arrows won't get Chase Fraser back till there's about 5.5 minutes left in the second period. Whitcomb, shot from deep off the leg of Duff, and he didn't even flinch. Now it's starting to soak in, though. Didn't hurt, didn't feel it right away. Then he took a couple steps. He's like, yep, that stung.
I kind of miss the good eat, don't rub it.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I'd never heard it before. Now I just want to hear it all the time.
I hear it in my head.
Yeah. So out comes Justin Gilt. Miners go empty on the power play. Lachlan inside scores. Doesn't matter. Lachlan with his second. And I don't think it's going to be long until we see Goa Abrams. And it is going to be now that Goa will get the call, and Chase Martin will come out of this game.
Now I wonder if this is going to be, just a short break, or if this is just going to be a full-time goalie switch here. But Abrams has been good. Like, he's kind of stolen some games here for the Arrows. Honestly, I was kind of anticipating him getting the start originally in this game. I was a little bit shocked to see Martin, but use this as a momentum swing from the Arrows' perspective here. Try to just get one stop, one loose ball, one reset, and build from there.
See my good buddy Corey Bomberry trying to put Kurt Malosky in a chokehold. A couple old Rochester teammates. And now Brett Craig finds a loose ball. He's going to run. And a delayed penalty coming as the Arrows came out of the box too soon. And Brett Craig will throw it back to Triolo. McLeod to the bench, 6-on-5.
Billy D is furious here.
Farrell, Triolo, back to Farrell. Backhand flip, Bowen tucks it, works inside, turned aside by the right leg of Goa Abrams. And Billy D's got to be careful here. Billy D is as fiery as they come, and he's got to be careful here having words with the official. So another opportunity here on the power play for the Miners. They scored the last goal just as the penalty was expired, and Justin Gill was making his way onto the floor. But this game started to get away from the Arrows.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long night here if they do get into penalty trouble. You're right. Billy D. Smith's got to be careful here. As looks like the conversation ends. Obviously he's not happy about it, but no extra penalties being thrown, and now his team needs another big kill here. And how about this start for Goa Abrams? He's getting thrown right into the fire.
Triolo will set it up top. McIntyre setting an inside screen, floats to the middle, one-time shot, and he couldn't get all of it. Tristan Jensen will serve the bench Miner. Up ahead, Thornbear to Kluche. Spins, shoot. Oh, he tried to go short side corner, and that's a nice save by McLeod as Kluche had bad intentions with that shot. In a good way.
Yeah, I was going to say. But there's that sound positioning from McLeod. There's a little bit of room available, but it's exactly that, just a little bit. And he stands tall, keeps those shoulders up.
Triolo will set it up again. Backhand flip to McIntyre, one more. And then it fell out of the stick of Lachlan. Thornbear splits through the double. Rudy George flips it. Amos Whitcomb, twister, just missed the far corner. And then the loose ball will fall to Rudy George. Heads up Lane Smith. He takes a chop from Burton and then shoves Burton into the ground. And now here come the Miners with 42 remaining on the Miner. Bowen to Farrell. 10 on the shot clock. Up top, Bowen. He'll shoot it. Nice save, Goa. And the ball loose behind him. Oh, a nice play there by Frank Brown to stop it on the goal line. Xavier Taylor will give it to Kobe Whitcomb. In the middle open as Becker scores! Short-handed tally from Becker. And a much-needed one from the Arrows with 10:52 left.
Yeah, and to get one shorthanded too, this is huge for the Arrows. You're about to go back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. All of a sudden, you're back within 4. A little bit of life and some positive energy, re-injected into the bench. And it's like I mentioned a second ago. It's just you can't look at the overall comeback because it may be a little bit overwhelming. Just look at it as one play at a time. One loose ball, one hit, and in this case, one goal. And move on to the next shift.
Thornbear won the draw cleanly, but trying to get it out of his stick, he turned it over to Triolo. And we're back to even strength. Sonicson scores! Sonicson with a little ISO one-on-one. Got past the defender and able to put it past Goa. And another good response from Edmonton.
Yeah, they've just done an unbelievable job. Whenever the Arrows do find something, the Miners are the next team. And a hard drive there, gets underneath of the help, tiptoes the crease and goes right over top of Goa Abrams. And all of a sudden, you know, that mountain just got a little bit bigger once again.
5-goal lead now, 10.5 to play in the second period, Colby Whitcomb. Pressured from Brett Craig, gives to Kluche. Gets a pick from Lane Smith, flipped it back to Smith. He couldn't handle the high pass. Grabbed there by Whitcomb. Skips it near side to Atwood, low shot miss. Rebound Kluche, 8 on the shot clock. And most of the Arrows had gone off the floor, so Kluche didn't have anybody to pass to. And Atwood will just dump it into the end, and that'll give us our under 10 timeout for the goaltenders. 8-3 is the score. Shots 27-19 in favor of the Miners. And Brett Craig will walk back and give his goaltender a bit of a fist pound.
Yeah, we'll take another look at that last Edmonton goal here. Sonichin driving low. And the lone defender down there trying to do, you know, everything in his power to just slow him down. But a good job. Instead of just going straight at the crease, you know, he's going straight downhill, gets there, and then sidesteps to create that extra angle. So you didn't win the 50-50, George? Yeah, throw it away, George. Are you going to be okay? Do you need me to take over the camera? Yeah, George is upset.
It's okay, George. Still got 2 more tries to win, man. 2 games tomorrow. First one is at
3:30?
Or is it 3 and 6? 3 and 6.
Yeah, I think so.
Bronze man, dirty gold at 3, gold at 6. Ladner Pioneers in the gold, waiting the outcome of this game. In attendance in the far corner watching. Inside feed, what a try there from Needham with one hand on the stick. Ball loose, picked up by Frank Brown. Allegany gonna try and run here.
Big save by Goa on that last one. Gets a piece of it with his glove in tight.
Here's Kluche. 10 on the shot clock. Inside feed, can't connect with Whitcomb. One more. Colby Whitcomb got to get a shot off. He does. Tried to sneak a 7-hole. And a nice save by Cam McLeod up ahead McFadden. Just getting some more information here on the tip line, Tino. Back in 2018, Tyler Sonichin had 138 points in the regular season with the Edmonton Junior B Tier 1 Warriors, which was an RMLL record.
That's it?
He's got to be better. Triolo swimming. Flipping. And that one doesn't connect. Again, a little lackadaisical from Triolo. Now Rudy George up ahead. Kluche. Shot clock wasn't started. So maybe an extended 30 here for the Arrows. As Amos Whitcomb goes crashing to the floor. Shot there from Kettle. Turned aside McLeod. Loose ball, Spencer Milne.
Yeah, and remember with Chase Fraser still serving his 10, the righties are getting an extra workout here, but now a chance the other way.
Darius Anderson on the break. Milne all over him. Anderson trying to go twister far side. And a nice save from Cam McLeod. And what are we going to call here? They're going to give possession to the Arrows.
Not sure if it's interference or if they're giving McLeod an opportunity to fix his net. Regardless, full 30 and an opportunity to build now for Allegany.
There's a shot by Lane Smith. That hit a helmet. That could not have felt good. Kluche one-on-one with Duff. Drives underneath, no help. Kluche almost automatic from 5 in white. And that's a pretty goal. That's not going to make the Miners bench staff happy. You cannot leave your defender all alone on an island against Chris Kluche.
Yeah, and it was a set play off the reset there for the Arrows. Everybody kind of cleared the zone. You know, you called it a vacate earlier, and you see, look at how much room there is if Kluche can just beat the one defender. Even the second that was on the other side of the crease, you know, kind of left on an island, just turning and looking and not really going over.
Thornberry wins the draw off Matt Kim, gives it off. Becker shot, and I think that hit Cody Hawkins before it made it on target. Johnny Lentz takes a bump against the side glass. Thornberry will send a guy out the back door. Bodies battling. Lentz had it, dropped it. Shot clock moving here, and it's finally grabbed by Matt Kim, and we'll give it to Tyler Burton. Here's Triolo now. Down in the corner, Richard Laughlin. Bowen splits past his man. 8 on the shot clock. Bowen splits underneath again. Will shoot around a screen. Save Abrams. And he will look for someone to pass to. Give it off to Jensen, who will stride up the floor. And Go has done a nice job settling his team down here.
Yeah, an early goal against, but, you know, a good answer back in his own right, and his team's going to need him here down the stretch.
Kobe Whitcomb works with Brother Amos. Flips it. Little confusion there between Kettle and Smith. 8 on the shot clock. Smith plants his feet, shot wide, gets his own rebound, shot on target. Now who's going to come up with this one? It'll be Brett Craig running onto it. Slow numbers here for Edmonton. Craig won't force the situation. And we'll look for bodies off the bench. Give it off to Laughlin. Far side, Needham. Now Sonertson. 10 on the shot clock. Laughlin gets a pick from Triolo, plants his feet, gives it off near side Sonertson. Triolo gets knocked to the ground by Gill. Gill gives him a hand up. Oh, and that goes off of Goa Abrams and out of play as the shot clock was expiring. That's unfortunate. Now a tired D out there. Triolo, step around shot. Went through the crease, can't pick it up. Justin Gill will. And it's awesome to see Justin Gill back out on the floor after taking a monster hit in the opening game of this tournament. Might have been their second game of the first day. And now here's Kluche. Kobe Whitcomb won't shoot it, spins off of his check, skips it far side, Nate Kettle. Kettle, heavy cross check coming from Matt Kim. Great slide, now up ahead to McFadden. What a play from Matty Kim.
Yeah, he's having himself a game. He's got a goal in this one, a big goal at that. He's got some good loose balls, a great slide there.
McFadden, shot, save Abrams. Loose ball picked up by Frank Brown, runs through a slash, gets up the floor. And the Arrows can't get any sort of transition game going here in the second. 5 minutes left in the second period. Flip it to Kluche. Next full dead ball. Chase Fraser will be able to come out. And loose ball grabbed there by Williamson. He's going to run. Frank Brown's got to be gassed here. Spencer Milne. One more, and that's one more too many from Milne. Loose ball picked up by Sherman Williams. He'll get across center. 4-goal game, 4.5 to play in the second. Tino Farrett, Teddy Jenner, or BC Sports TV crew, thanks for tuning in here on a Friday night. Whitcomb, bounce shot goes wide. Loose ball, nice one-hand grab by Craig, but he's handled there by a couple of Arrows. Loses it, fresh 30, and a ball popped up to George. Penalty coming. Goa will make his way to the bench. And now Kobe Whitcomb's got to be careful not to take one here in the offensive zone. His team's going to go to the power play, and Chase Fraser will be fresh. Becker. 1-2 with Lane Smith. Now Kluche. drags, flips it, Kettle, one more, shot, floater, and the shoulder save by McLeod will bounce right to Burton. And they're not letting Chase Fraser out yet, so maybe he's got to wait the full 12.
Would have been a huge addition to get him back, as he would have likely just gone right onto the power play. But for me, the Arrows, in my opinion, they kind of have to score here. This could completely flip the game. We're in the late stages of the second, under 4 minutes remaining. It's not going to be a backbreaker if they don't by any means, but what a complete, flip of the switch this could be to all of a sudden cut the lead down to 3. They've had a couple of good shifts here. That last loose ball, which eventually led to the power play here, was massive. So they're doing some good things as of late, and a goal could be massive.
Becker, Kluche, Smith, Atwood, Amos, Whitcomb. Heavy shot there from Atwood, got his own rebound, put it wide. Reset the 30. Backhand flip to Lane Smith. Becker. Kluche gets a seal pick from Atwood, gives it to Amos Whitcomb, skips it Becker, now Kluche. Whitcomb, low to low, what a shot, what a goal. And Fraser's out of the box, and he'll go right to his boys, give him a tap, and say, let's go.
And he's fresh now as well. So, a big addition here for the Arrows, who all of a sudden have, a bit of a smaller deficit. Now it's down to just 3 with a little over 3 to play. And like I mentioned, some momentum on their side. That's a massive opportunity for them, and they take advantage. They've kind of settled down a little bit. They were, everybody's screaming at the refs. The changes were a little bit slower. Now they've kind of settled into their play. We're seeing a little more of what we're used to from this Allegany team throughout this tournament. And now it's about building on it.
And Thornberg jumped again early on the draw. And Triolo was screaming at McFadden to pick that ball up as they had numbers up the floor. Late man on now is Saunderson. Triolo screaming for it. Bowen. McIntyre flashes through the middle. Bowen all the way around the horn will finally give it off to McIntyre. Interior feed picked off there by Sherman Williams. Williams doesn't have bodies with him, so he'll peel back, flip it off to Kobe Whitcomb.
Oh, McIntyre stuck on D here.
Here comes Fraser on the floor. Atwood, shot, scores! What a rip from Chris Atwood. His 11th of the tourney. Straight off the bench to the back of the net.
Yeah, and I was going to make mention before, the Whitcomb boys had been a little bit quiet to start off this one. Atwood's been a little bit quiet to start this one, and then, of course, I'm glad I didn't say it because Amos Whitcomb scored that last power play goal, and now Atwood gets into the mix, and we got ourselves a brand new game here. Teddy and Chase Fraser right back into the mix.
Nice clean draw win there from Thornberg. Fraser slips through. Quick shot as he often does. Ball now loose. And who's going to come up with it? It's going to be the Arrows. And momentum is in their favor as Fraser got knocked to the ground. No call on Lintz. Here's Lane Smith. Tucks it. Swimming. Watched there by Saunderson. Up top. Kobe Whitcomb. Time and room. Great save. Owen Fraser couldn't find that loose ball. Hawkins does though. And then he's stripped nicely by Becker. Good forecheck by Josh Becker, and he's able to get that loose ball. And Billy Smith is fired up in a good way on the Arrows bench this time.
This quite literally feels like a completely different game than even just 10 minutes ago.
Atwood thought about it, tucks it, and then lost it. Good defense from Matt Kim again. And then he flips it to the middle, and it's going to be grabbed there by Saunderson. Minute 20 remaining here in the second. 2-goal game. Saunderson will pass to McIntyre and head for a change. Kinnear circles high. McIntyre. Backside look for Farrell. 4 on the shot clock. Shot from a tough angle. Loose ball grabbed by Frank Brown. Frank Brown will run past the cross-check of Darren Kinnear. Numbers here for the Arrows. Fraser got hit from behind, no call. But Brown there playing supporting role, picked up the loose ball. 15 on the shot clock here for Allegany. Kluche, 7 on the shot clock, gets a pick from Becker, skips it. Fraser through a screen. Oh, a nice save by McLeod. Loose ball picked up by Edmonton. And they're screaming for timeout. And they'll finally get it with 24.4 remaining and up by 2.
Yeah, and I think they're going to argue to have some time put back on. They were screaming for a few seconds before the officials had finally realized.
But at 24.4,
I mean,
more seconds
yeah.
doesn't really mean anything. You're going to stand there
Yeah.
for 23 seconds anyway. You know who I saw today? Obviously, we've seen Perry Sokolski at the Minto and the President's Cup quite a bit with his relation to Christian Del Bianco.
Of course.
But you know who he's with today?
Who's he with today?
Joey Kenward.
Oh, that's a welcome sight.
Yeah, Joey Kenward obviously battling some health issues the last little while, but he's looking great. He said he was at the game earlier today. He said it's his first live sporting event he's been to in a long time.
Whoa.
And it was just great to get out of the house and come see some live action. And I want to wish him all the best in his battles and let him know that we're all cheering for him and pulling for him. And obviously it's a very tough day in the sporting world with the news of the passing of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau today, or last night, in a terrible accident while they're out for a bike ride 24 hours before their sister's wedding. So we want to send all our thoughts and prayers to the Gaudreau family and all their friends and everybody back there who are dealing with some horrific news of what was supposed to be the greatest weekend of their lives. Here's Bowen. McIntyre. Shot goes wide. Late in the shot clock. And that's the way the period will end. It has been a fantastic game. We went to overtime in the first semifinal. This game looking like it's got a chance to get there as well. Tino Farrett, Teddy Jenner, game 2 of the semifinals. When we come back, we'll have third period action for the 2024 President's Cup.
Woods putting on a faking clinic.
35 remaining. Harris had boots. He takes the shot instead. He wants to go to the net. He's got a lane on his wrong side. Score! After the perimeter. Down low. One-timer. What a feed. Wanted to do a 3-on-1. Cross crease. Oh. What a save by Giuliano. Thomas was floating through the air on that one.
Jimmy Joe Hawk. Happy.
Backhand feed over to Thompson. Scores.
Roll that out as
Boucher tries the backhand and it works.
Smith, triple team comes up top, heavy shot in the goal. Brown, near side Dan, inside feed in the goal. Billy gets back all alone in front, Goddard. From the minor. And is it another one? It is. Bowen, Thurston. One more in front. What a pass, what a goal. Off ball. Excellent. And there's a great response from Richard Laughlin. Still free.
Now,
Dunker.
it's good.
And it is good. McIntyre works his way inside on the power play. First with the lead. Patrick. Great Elijah Brown. Have to go. McIntyre inside all alone. Tie ball game.
They get a chance going through and Boyd scores! Point here, Becker's gonna take a shot and score just inside the post zone on a breakaway stop by Abram. Brooms makes 2 straight saves. The shot was Austin. Maybe he'll go off the bat here for the Shamrocks as Christensen and Twister scores! In first place, depending on some results later on as well. There's a shot by Kettle and there's a start for the Arrows. 28 Now Marsh to the middle, and they score. Chalk one up for Wade, and a good answer back to the Shamrock. Wade down the middle to the near side. Bowie looking 5-0 score.
Way more. Burn up the floor.
And he wants it, and he's going to get it on a breakaway. A chance to tie it. Shoots and scores.
With Binga and Del Bianco.
It's a pass off. Here's
has a shot. Big rebound. Keith scores. One more. Does that count? Yes. Jones. Good save. Thomas. For Peibel. Romney behind the goal. Dunk attempt. Clip it for Jones. There's Yangling. Here's Kozak.
I can't wait to see what happens next week. They bring the intensity. Let's raise the level even more next week. All right?
PCL on 3! 1, 2, 3, PCL!
Good job, guys.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
Know your limits. CoolBet helps you control your gaming experience. Stay cool. Bet responsibly.
We've had great fans. It's really motivating for our guys. We want to put on a good product on the floor for the fans that are going to come here and spend their hard-earned money.
And as Martel slips it 5-hole. And his ball again down the middle. How did he hang on to that? Scores! Keegan Ball!
It's what they did in that room that turned the season around. I don't think we make that run without the support of the fans.
Here's Sean Beatties! And he scores! Hey Woods putting on a faking clinic.
35 remaining. Harris had boots. He takes the shot instead. He wants to go to the net. He's got a lane on his wrong side. Score! Perimeter. Down low, one-timer. What a feed. Wanted to do a 3-on-1. Cross crease. What a save by Giuliano. Thomas was floating through the air on that one.
Jimmy Joe Hall. Happy.
Backhand feed over to Thompson. Scores.
Roll that out as
Boucher tries the backhand and it works.
Smith, triple team thumbs, up top, heavy shot in the goal. Brown, near side, Dan, inside, feet in the goal. Billy gets back all alone in front, Goddard. From the minor. And is it another one? It is. Bowen, Thurston. One more in front. What a pass, what a goal. Off ball. Excellent. And there's a great response from Richard Laughlin. Still free. Dunker. It's good. And it is good. McIntyre works his way inside on the power play. First with the man. Patrick. Great like the ground. Have to go. McIntyre inside all alone. Tie ball game.
Through and Boyd scores! Point here, Becker's gonna take a shot and score just inside the zone on a breakaway. Stopped by Abram. Brooms makes 2 straight saves. Shot with Austin. Maybe he'll go off the bat here for the Shamrocks as Christensen a twister scores! In first place, depending on some results later on as well. There's a shot by Kettle, and there's a start for the Arrows. 28. Now Marsh to the middle, and they score. Chalk one up for Wade, and a good answer back to the Shamrock. Wade down the middle to the near side. Bowie looking 5-0 score.
Wade more. Burn up the floor.
And he wants it, and he's going to get it on a breakaway. A chance to tie it. Shoots and scores!
With Bingham, Delvienko. It's a pass off. Here's a shot. Big rebound. Keith scores. One more. Does that count? Yes. Jones. Good save. Thomas. For Primal. Romney behind the goal. Dunk attempt. Clip it for Jones. There's Yingling. Here's Kozak.
Are you craving the taste of the ocean? I am. Dive into the freshness with Ocean Brand Seafood. Sustainably sourced, always delicious. Ocean Brands, your catch of the day, every day. And if you're just catching up with us now here on BC Sports TV on YouTube, 8-6, Edmonton leading Allegany in Game 2 of the semifinals. Also, shout out to the folks at BC Sports TV. Now, if you've liked what Tino and I and Jake have been doing all week long here at the President's Cup.
George as well.
And George. And you feel bad for our voices and our sweat stains. Well, we got a little tip jar there on the YouTube page. Feel free to help Tino and his wife out in their honeymoon.
It will go to more than that, okay?
Jake's Disc Golf Fund.
There you go. Your golf fund.
Yeah, I need a lot of help with that.
Yeah.
I'm going broke golfing. Possibly 20 minutes remaining in this game. We had overtime earlier in the first semifinal, which Ladner won. And now Edmonton 20 minutes away from booking a trip to the finals for a rematch with the Ladner Pioneers, who look to go for their third straight, and Edmonton wants to stop them from that. Outside shot from Kluche will go wide and off the netting.
And a bit of pressure on the Miners here, I would say. They were in a relatively commanding lead back in the second period. Now a little bit of a comeback being mounted by the Arrows.
Here's Richard Laughlin now. Matched up with Xavier Taylor. Saved there by Goa, who's only given up one, I believe, since coming in. Triolo. Jake Bowen, now Saunderson. 15 on the shot clock. Saunderson, McIntyre, all on the backside was Bowen. He couldn't handle the pass, and then he'll run through the crease, and that'll be a free possession for the Arrows.
I've been told that they call Jake Bowen the king of the RMLL.
Oh, okay.
From a source.
Is that from on the tip line? That came in on the tip line?
Yeah, I got a source on the inside.
Nice. Here's Anderson. Outside shot from Atwood goes wide. It'll bounce right to Kluche, and then Anderson too aggressive as he knocked Hawkins down on the turf. Williamson, as Hawkins slowly gets up, makes his way off. You can hear him screaming from here in pain. Needham. Farrell, laid off the bench, stick save by Goa Abrams. Here comes Amos Whitcomb. Scored a power play marker in the last period as the Arrows tried to come back, and then the pass is picked off by Matt Kim. Man, he's had a good game here tonight. Matt Kim running. Will he shoot it? He will, and he'll score! And again, the Kim family goes crazy. He's got two.
And you just see how fired up his Miners teammates are
when he's having success. And this game overall has been a huge success for Matt Kim. He's been dynamite at the face-off dot. We talked earlier, I mean, he had a goal back in the first period as well, but it's not just what he's doing offensively now with his second goal of the game, but he's having a strong showing out the D gate, which is the most important thing for him as well, right? It's face-offs for him, and it's sound defensive responsibilities. And when you're taking care of the back gate, good things like that are going to happen. And now all of a sudden, he's on hat-trick watch for the Miners.
A very unlikely hat-trick watch. And that's just because he had his stick in the lane and picked that pass off and then turned on the afterburners. Colby Whitcomb, backhand flip to Atwood. He'll skip it floor wide. Becker plants his feet, shoots it. Knocked down by Spencer Milne. And Burton will run onto this one. Burton doesn't have Kim's speed anymore. So he'll wisely go backwards and give it off to Marcus Needham. Triolo now. Slow and methodical back to Needham. Takes a cross check from Taylor. Comes back near side McIntyre. Shot, glove saved by Goa. Loose ball up into the netting, and that went out of play off Dean Farrell. Rudy George up ahead. He'll leave it for Lane Smith. Watch there by Chris Seidel. Smith to Amos Whitcomb, working with Chase Fraser. Back to Smith, now Kluche in the corner. Smith sets a seal. Kluche down to Whitcomb, couldn't handle it. Ball loose. And smart play there by Cody Hawkins, who's back out. Now Kluche uses his pitching wedge. And then Atwood got it right at the last whistle and shot on target. And a couple Miner defenders didn't take kindly to that.
And the Arrows got to do a better job now getting to the middle of the floor. Of course, that's kind of the golden area where everybody wants to get to. But when you got a goaltender like McLeod who's seeing everything, he's stopping things from distance, you have to be able to work in tight and try to get some that he's going to have a harder time with.
In the corner, Needham, 10 on the shot clock for the Miners. Across to Farrell. Got to get a shot off. Needham or Lincoln. Lachlan will. Kicked aside there by Abrams into the netting. Fresh 30 for the Miners.
And they're going to get some fresh legs as well. Triolo's going to join in. McIntyre's going to go as well. So a righty strong set now for the Miners.
Skips it to Triolo. Working inside. Flip to McIntyre. He tiptoed the crease. Ball loose. And to be grabbed there by Darius Anderson.
What a take from McIntyre. Right off the bench, right into the play. Gets in close as well into that dangerous area.
It's Kluche now. Atwood, Fraser. They run a clear out against Brett Craig. Fraser in, takes a shot, easily handled there by McLeod. Quickly up ahead to Kim. And I like the take there from Fraser, but got to take one more step to the middle of the floor. Don't throw that one long. There's guys back. Smart play by Jensen.
How about the pass from Kim there looking up? Man, is he having a game.
He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. Heavy shot by Lane Smith, kicked aside by the goaltender. Atwood, a little lackadaisical on that loose ball. Going to be grabbed by Burton. Up ahead, McFadden. McFadden going to run. Steps by Becker. Shot, oh, it hit the back of the pipe, then the back of Abrams and stayed out. Up ahead, Kluche. Kluche takes a couple chops from Cody Hawkins. A little punch check to the low back. Amos to Kobe Whitcomb. Kluche, shot. Ooh, that one buzzed the tower. Loose ball, be grabbed there by Lintz, who switched jerseys here, now wearing 28.
And Lane Smith looks shaken up, just not quite moving as smoothly as he was even at the start of this game. I mean, he along with many guys, but I think he's definitely nursing something here.
Now 15 on the shot clock for Triolo in the Miners offense. Triolo to Needham. And you can see a concerted effort here by the Miners in this third period to start using some clock and wear down this defense as they lead it by 3. Fresh reset. Farrell gets a couple picks from Kinnear. Skips it to Triolo. runs through a chop, feeds it to McIntyre, scores! Hat trick for BMAC on a nice ball cut and a sneaky little feed from Triolo. It's back to a 4-goal game.
Yeah, McIntyre just continues to be the most dangerous player on the floor, all the time here for the Miners, but I'm glad you mentioned it. This pass from Triolo is just ridiculous. A sidearm feed, and that's a straight line. It's not just being put into an area for McIntyre to, casually receive it. His stick is in a location and Triolo puts it right on target. And then McIntyre does the rest as he floats over to the far side, and that's a huge goal here for the Miners.
Xavier Taylor runs through a couple chops. And we'll give it off to Chris Atwood. Now Kluche, inside feed, Fraser. What a handle! What a finish! In a phone booth, Chase Fraser can score.
And he's a guy they need to get going. He's missed much of this game due to the misconduct back in the second period. And he's a guy that we talked about earlier that can shoot and score in some pretty uncomfortable positions. And I think this is one of those ones where he works in tight, he gets into that dangerous area, and you just have to bear down at that point. You have to find a way to finish. Something that they, haven't really done a whole ton through the middle to this point in this game, but still plenty of time to work with. And a goal like that at this time can completely change the vibe of this game for the Arrows, and they need a little bit more of that.
Good loose ball battle from both teams, but it ends up in the stick of Tyler Burton and the Miners. McFadden, hidden ball trick. Now with Triolo. 13 minutes left. Outside shot, saved there by Abrams. Loose ball picked up by the Arrows. Bounce pass up to Jensen. He couldn't handle it. Triolo wisely lets it go back across center before picking it up. Now he's being hounded. He'll lose possession. Now Amos Whitcomb. Whitcomb being hounded by Williamson. We'll give it off to Kluche. Now Becker. Becker, time and room. Double clutch, shot off the post. Fraser finds a loose ball. Shot missed. Loose ball, bounce all the way back here to Kluche. Kluche washed by McFadden. Gonna drive underneath. Skip it over. Fraser fakes it, tucks it, twister. Just missed on the far side. Took a hit for his efforts. Duff lost his helmet. He's got to head off. Becker battling for it with McFadden. Williamson doesn't have a stick. Fraser has it. Switches hands. Looks at the shot clock. Through a screen. Puts it on target. And that's a good save at the end of the buzzer by McLeod.
But that's a really good shift for the Arrows following a goal a moment ago. You get a couple resets. You get a good look in the offensive zone. That's what it takes. A few more of those and they might start to break down this Miners team. But they've looked electric here in the O-zone.
McIntyre. Inside feed. Needham doesn't pull the trigger. Up top. Outside shot. Kinnear loose ball. McIntyre! Oh, what a save by Goa Abrams. As McIntyre looked to have a sure goal. Now running are the Arrows. 3-on-3 as on comes Kobe Whitcomb.
Man, oh man, Goa Abrams certainly, he's doing what he's got to do here for the Arrows. Now they kind of owe him a goal after that miraculous save.
Kluche one-on-one with Spencer Milne. Gets underneath, drives, dives, trying to bring her back short side. Got called for in the crease, and then Brett Craig turns it over, able to find, careful there by the benches, and a loose ball picked up nicely by Sonicson.
Man, that game makes me nervous.
Lachlan to Burton, who's going to have to stay and play a shift over here for a bit. He'll skip it, Sonicson. And someone's without a stick on the floor. I believe that's Rudy George. He tries to kick it to space and wisely just lets the clock wind down with 10:30 to go.
Yeah, and a wise decision there by George to not pick up his stick. I think he was trying to talk to the official, get permission to take it back to the bench, but can't take a penalty there, so he just heads off.
Becker, Amos Whitcomb. Underhand feed doesn't connect, loose ball. Fraser couldn't find it. Lintz will. Now he'll float one up ahead to McFadden. Comes the man with 3, Brett McIntyre. McIntyre gets a pick from Needham. Gives it to Saunderson. Heavy shot. Nicely saved there by Goa Abrams. Williams up ahead. Now Kobe Whitcomb will fake it. Oh, they almost had the defense, but McLeod was aware. Now Kluche against Milne. They've liked this matchup the last couple shifts. And a heavy cross-check sends a man down. They'll call Kluche in the crease. And that'll be the stoppage for the goaltenders to get some water.
And Xavier Taylor is pleading for a call. He took one high. He's going to have a conversation with the official here who, not going to have a lot of time for that. But this has been a really good bounce back and a good, kind of middle or midway part of this third and final frame for the Arrows. A tough start with the Miners getting right after it here, but it's got to kind of be that bend but don't break mentality for Allegany. They've been down, they've kind of been out a few times, they've chipped away, they've gotten back now to within 2 once, now down by just 3. So again, kind of like before, you can't look at, how do we get back to 10 right now? The mindset has to be, how do we get down by 2? And then from that point on, how do we get down by 1, and so on and so on. It's the little things that you got to pair together, kind of shift after shift here. But I've liked the response that they've had in this third period, even after having a bit of a slower start.
Yeah, the old adage of my old coach, Chris Hall, the Hall of Famer, always used to say, what's next? Focus on what's next, and that's the next shift in front of you. Here's Lachlan. McIntyre. And that's a broken stick for Lachlan. Heavy shot by Triolo. He gets this loose ball. Now he's double teamed. Heavily pressured in the corner. Good job there, and the ball comes free.
Another big save.
Playing a little police officer down there with Triolo and Jesse Jimerson. Now Fraser. Oh my goodness. Tried a diving Tommy twist. That would have made the highlight reels.
And he's looking to go to the net every single time he's got. He knows that his team needs him. And he's trying to be the hero.
Everybody's got to play a hero role here in this third period for the Arrows. Down 3, 8.5 to go. A berth in the finals is on. And a handle by McIntyre turned aside by Abrams. That was a good look for McIntyre in tight.
Man, if you just put it near the head of his stick, he's going to find a way to catch it. He had that last one from Triolo that he ends up putting the back of the net. That one as well into a tight area, and he still gets his hands on it.
Kluche works off a pick from Becker, who pushes Milne all the way to the center of the floor, and then the pass doesn't connect with Becker. McLeod will grab the loose ball. Head man it to Burton.
Nice assertive play from Cam McLeod, who's certainly doing his job for the team in this game.
Here comes Needham. He'll work a two-man game with Triolo. Late man on is Dean Farrell. Far side, Bowen. 8 on the shot clock. Farrell from a tough angle, missed. Triolo tracks it. He's got to get a shot off, and Goa keeps the big wooden stick down and gobbles that one up. Up ahead, Fraser on his wrong side. Switches hands. And now we'll give it off to Chris Atwood. Gets a pick from Xavier Taylor. Atwood spins away from Craig. And then flips it to Taylor. Back to Atwood. Double cork shot. And McLeod had to be careful with that one.
Oh, and if they just fed Atwood even just a second earlier, he had so much room. Could have made a decision to go to the net or stop up and shoot if he wanted, but just a little delay thanks to the pressure of the Miners defender, and that little delay is all it took.
Farrell back to McIntyre. Working with Needham, flips it inside, and they score. Marcus Needham. He joins the 2-goal party. And another nice pick and roll between McIntyre and Needham.
Yeah, McIntyre's just got his hands on pretty much everything when the ball comes to this side of the floor. And the most impressive thing to me about what the Miners have done offensively in this game is, there's still nothing from Mike Triolo here, and he's their captain for a reason. He's an emotional leader. He's a statistical leader as well, and they're able to get this done thanks to some depth scoring and a lot of other guys getting into the mix here. This has been a really impressive performance.
On the run, there's a shot by Colby Whitcomb, knocked down by a defensive stick. Up ahead, McFadden, 6.5 to play. Here comes Triolo. Triolo to Farrell. Back to Triolo. One more. This time it's Bowen. Spins off the check. 4 on the shot clock. Oh, that one almost snuck through Abrams. Now running. Rudy George gives it off to Becker. Becker tried to push past one far side. Nice save there by McLeod.
Yeah, it's a similar shot to the last one that we just saw that went on target against Goa Abrams. Just trying to flow one under the arm, try to get the goaltender to take a step over, and when they do, it might open up some room underneath, but both goaltenders shut the door.
We're 5.5 minutes away from a rematch of last year's President's Cup final. That shot deflects off Leo Sturos and will go all the way down to Cam McLeod with 4 on the shot clock. And they'll just ice it into the corner. And with a 4-goal lead and just over 5 minutes to go, we'll have to keep an eye on Goa Abrams.
I was just going to say, he's looking over to the bench, looking for some instruction here. We're probably going to see him head off for the extra attacker pretty quick.
And they might be wise to get Chase Martin to put his pads back on. He's a little quicker going back and forth between the pipes. Lane Smith, Kluche inside. Oh, and just put over top of the net. It's Fraser. Kluche spins off Burton. Twists him into the ground. Twister shot goes wide. This will be a shot clock violation.
It's just devastating there for the Arrows. 2 glorious opportunities from 2 of the guys that you would probably want to have those late opportunities, in Chase Fraser and Chris Kluche, and both of them send it, either high or wide. Might end up being the difference here.
So again, look for Edmonton to use as much of the 30s as they can. Time is their friend now. Anderson got away with a bit of a hold. Shot turned aside. Loose ball goes right back to Bowen. And they're just yelling, eat it, eat it, eat it here from the Miners bench as Needham takes a couple cross checks. Far corner to Farrell. Now a looping pass to Richard Laughlin all alone. Gets underneath Thornberry. Laughlin try to go 5-hole. Nice save Abrams. Loose ball. Picked up by Anderson. Backhand feed to Xavier Taylor. He'll sprint past Needham. And give it off to Becker, who I've heard is running for council in the Seneca Nation.
Ooh.
Kluche pushed his man down, gets inside, steps away, can't get a shot off. Now does, and McLeod again standing his ground with a pivotal save here with 3.5 to go.
I talked earlier about Lane Smith, the big man with the hands to be able to do some dirty work in tight. How about those hands from Chris Kluche, who just refused to give up on the play, refused to give up the ball, and still got one on target.
Late man on the floor is Saunderson. Bouncer, missed the near side pipe. It'll bounce all the way to Farrell. Late in the shot clock, head hunting shot. Oh, and Triolo grabbed it with one hand and wanted a behind the back Beyonda. Lynn drops a bit of a shoulder into Lane Smith. Here comes Colby Whitcomb. Still no movement from Go Up, but Chase Martin has put the pads back on over on the Arrows bench. Colby Whitcomb plants his feet, shoots, scores! That's a big goal. It's a 3-goal deficit. It's Colby Whitcomb gets on the board.
To be on your wrong side, and in this case, shoot back to the stick side of Cam McLeod is unbelievable. Maybe from a goaltender's perspective, not exactly expecting a shot to go in that direction, but just a perfectly placed shot that goes across the body of the goaltender. And, don't go anywhere just yet. It's only a 3-goal deficit, 2:45 remaining, so there's still some hope here for the Arrows. But They got to go to work here quickly. They need some big defensive stops. They need some, bigger loose balls. And again, like I said before, they got to bear down and take care of the ball.
And that was a good loose ball win by Becker, but he just threw it away. Now Williamson running. And Jordan Cornfield on the Miners bench. Hands up, pleading for him to slow up. Shots 52-38 in favor of the Miners. Lachlan under pressure from Williams. He's kind of built like Zed Williams too. And now here comes Goa Abrams to the bench. 6-on-5. Chase Martin will do the heavy running. Fraser has it. Down to the corner, Amos Whitcomb. Frank Brown going to play some O here. Brown inside, backhand shot. Nice save there by McLeod. Now they got to hurry back to get Martin on the floor. And now Brett Craig. Long legs and across center deep into the arrow zone. And again, Miners be wise just to use Sturdy, and they kind of throw it away looking for a backdoor cut. Martin to the bench. Bounce pass to Kobe Whitcomb. 6-on-5 again here for the Arrows. Kluche gives it off to Becker. Atwood, backhand flip Fraser. Shot missed. Gonna ricochet. It'll go right to Atwood. 8 on the shot clock. Skips it. Lane Smith can't get it. Right to Fraser. On target, loose ball, big one coming. And it'll be grabbed there by Kluche.
It's a huge shot from Fraser and a big loose ball.
And then a quick shot from Kluche, picked off by Tyler Burden. And he'll wisely, and a veteran move, not to shoot that one. It's a 3-goal game. You don't need any more here. You just need to run the clock down. Lintz will give it off to Needham. And Needham will just run for space here. And he'll throw it in the corner. And with 3-goal deficit, under 30 to play, Billy D. Smith won't call a timeout here, but they'll bring Chase Martin. Oh, and then Whitcomb, unaware, got met up there by Hawkins, who's put him under some heavy pressure. Now Chase Fraser. Swim move on Craig. Circles all the way behind. Flips it to Whitcomb. 5 seconds left. We are going to have a rematch of last year's President's Cup final as one more save by McLeod. There's a handful of Chase Fraser's mask at the buzzer. And I believe cooler heads will prevail here. But the Edmonton Miners will win this one 11-8 on a 29, what is that, good math? 33 save performance from Cam McLeod. And it was enough as the Miners hold on to knock off the Arrows and get a little revenge from that 7-6 loss to start the tournament. But look out. Pioneers, Miners, gold medal game tomorrow night as the Arrows will take on the Muskies for the dirty gold.
Yeah, and we're going to look right now at some of the plays that helped get, this Miners team that extra step closer towards the finish line. And, we're now going to see the gold medal matchup that I think a lot of people were anticipating at the very least at the start of this tournament. But credit to the Arrows. They were in a position in this game where they could have just completely folded, and they found their heads and found a way to get back into it, make it interesting. But, this is a big, a mean, a heavy, a veteran, just a dangerous Edmonton team, that knows how to get it done when it comes down to crunch time. And now we're going to see, just an incredible championship matchup tomorrow.
So we will wait here for the MVPs of this game, but let's break down the All-Star teams for you as we'll get those announced here as well. But your first All-Star team in the 2024 President's Cup: Chris Kluche, Chris Bouchy, Tyler Pace, Brett Craig, Matt Accioni and Christian Del Bianco. And then the second team, Greg Elijah Brown, Chris Atwood, Spencer Bromley, Johnny Lentz, Nathan Hanare, and Cam McLeod.
Is there any like one or two guys from that list that really stands out to you as somebody that kind of maybe caught you off guard or you think has just really stood out?
Well, I hadn't seen Greg Elijah Brown really play. That kid is unbelievable. I think Nathan Hanare deserves an NLL shot. I've always been a Chris Atwood fan. I'd love to see him in the NLL. Matt Accioni is definitely getting drafted in the first couple of rounds. And Chris Kluche is the game MVP here for Allegany, as he had a pair of goals and was dangerous all night long. He'll get his second water bottle of the tournament. And you got to think that it's got to be Matty Kim here after the game that he had. Oh, they're going to give it to McIntyre, who had the hat trick. Everyone always chooses the goal.
I was just going to say, it's the extra goals. I wouldn't be shocked to see, something go to Matt Kim once the team gets back into the locker room. His performance tonight was just unbelievable.
So they will hand out the MVP jerseys to the players that earned All-Star nominations. Again, in this game, it'll be Kluche, Brett Craig, Chris Atwood, Johnny Lentz, and Cam McLeod will all receive a limited edition jersey from Extreme Threads, I imagine. But the final score, Miners 11, Arrows 8. It'll be Edmonton and Ladner tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the gold medal, as Brett Craig gets his All-Star nod. And in the bronze / dirty gold, it'll be Allegany versus Snake Island at 3. For our entire BC Sports TV crew, for cameraman extraordinaire George Parra, for switcher colorman to boot Tino Farah, my name has been Teddy Jenner. This has been semi-final day at the President's Cup. We will talk to you tomorrow, Medal Day, from the Prezzies and the Ladner Leisure Center on BC Sports.